Hey guys, and welcome back to podcast number five. Podcast number 5. So as always, I'm here with my husband James.
And Chathies.
Our little puppy. Yeah, we're talking about you. She's looking at us.
Yeah, she's like, let me sleep.
I just want to sleep. She's on top of her blankie. Well, actually surrounded by her blankie.
She's swaddled.
Yes, swaddled. She's adorable though, but that's how she likes to sleep. She just likes to cuddle with us all day inside of her blankie. Anyways, the topic for today is one of James's favorite topics. There we go.
Yep. We're talking about Halloween, but specifically, we're going to be talking about our trip to Fright Fest.
Was it called Fright Fest?
I think it's called San Antonio's Six Flags Fright Fest.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored.
We just went there last year and had a lot of fun. Huh?
Unless they want to.
Unless they want to. Hey, yes, Six Flags, sure, sponsor us. That would be awesome. Thank you. We'd love that.
Yeah, we'd love to go back.
But yeah, we went to San Antonio to Six Flags last year.
Kind of on a whim. We didn't even know it was Fright Fest.
We didn't even know. It was just kind of like this thing, like, because we talked about going to Six Flags for forever, because I love roller coasters and, like, I don't know how, like, attractions, how...
Yeah, attractions.
Attractions, like, I love that. Like, it's my thing. In Mexico, I used to go to every attraction and fair and event, and it's just awesome. So I begged James I begged forever until James finally like, okay, let's go to San Antonio. And it was just like, okay, we'll just go this week. What?
Sorry, no, she just burped in my face.
Oh.
It was gross.
I'm like, just tell me no.
No, she just like...
Oh, Chathies.
Can you smell it? Sorry.
I can't.
Sorry, distracted. She's stinky dog.
Apparently, Chathies burped in front of James.
I hope it was a burp. Anyways, we're child humor or potty humor.
Potty humor. So yeah, we finally, it was like the one weekend. It's like, well, do you just want to go this weekend? I'm like, okay, well, let's just do it. Let's just go that weekend. And we dropped everything that we were doing. And we just drove in our car to San Antonio, and we got there like
10, 11.
Around after like noon.
3 in the afternoon. I don't know.
Yeah, we got there late because it was just like, well, we could go today. It's like, you just want to go? Yeah, let's just go.
Yeah, let's just get in the car and go.
So it wasn't like, oh, we woke up early and we drove for hours until we reached San Antonio. It's like, no, it's just like on a whim. We just decided to go. So we went there, and as we, are getting our tickets, they're letting us know that at 7 in the afternoon, things change around the park. They get spooky because they do these things for Halloween. Like, they decorate the park differently for Halloween, for the month of October.
If you've ever seen the map, think like how Disneyland has Tomorrowland and Neverland and Fantasyland and all the different areas. Six Flags is very similar, and they divide it into like, hey, this is going to be this type of horror. This is zombies. This is ghouls. This is that. This is vampires. And
clowns.
I was getting there. I was saving that one.
So here's the thing. If you guys have followed my YouTube career and the podcasts that we've uploaded recently, you'll know that I am scared of everything. I do not do well with horror, scary stuff. Like, no, I do not like Chucky, It, the Clown. I cannot. It's like the worst thing. Chuck it. Anyways, so like the worst thing for me are clowns and mimes. Like I cannot deal with it. Like, I will cry if I see one. I will. Yeah, it's not pretty when I see one. Anyways, when we decided to go to San Antonio for, to go to a park, we didn't know it was going to be like that. And we were already there. It's not like we're going to turn around and drive all the way back.
Well, sorry. We didn't think it would be as
spooky.
In depth as it was.
Yeah. So, one, we didn't know it was going to be, like, decorated for Halloween and that it was going to be, like, completely changing. Like, they were going to change everything starting at 7 p.m.
Can I tell that story when we get to it?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
So, we didn't know that from the very beginning. And then we didn't, like, when it actually happened, we didn't know it was going to be that good of a job in decorating and the people they hired and everything.
Yeah.
So, for me, it was a nightmare. James was having a blast. They did a really good job. Like, I'm just scary. Like, I'm not scary. I'm scared. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a scary cat. Like, I do not deal with scary stuff. So they did a really good job. James had a blast. I was just like, I just wanted to be over. Like, I just wanted to get back to the car because I was spooked out of my mind. Like, I just know. And then it got super cold too. So we actually ended up buying a hoodie for
you,
me.
yeah.
Because I was so cold. So it was cold and spooky. I was like terrified. So yeah. Anyways, do you want to start talking about how
so we're going to take you beat by beat through how they did the transformation into Six Flags, the lovely kid-friendly theme park, into Six Flags Fright Fest.
Haha.
So we were standing in line for the Batman ride. The four-dimensional Batman. I don't remember going through time, but whatever.
Yeah.
So we're standing in line, and I just remember us we're maybe 20 people away from getting on the ride.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden we just hear mortars, like fireworks, large ones, the big thum, thum.
And but we also heard the
the air raid siren. For those of you at home, my least favorite sound is an air raid siren. I hate it. Something about it just primally upsets me. So that bothered me. I had no idea what was going on. And then there's hundreds, if not thousands, of fog machines all over the place. And this cloud of fog, think Stephen King's The Mist. This fog just rolls across the ground in this eerie way. They did such a good job.
Such a good job because you couldn't see things anymore. Like, it was so thick, the fog, you couldn't see. Like, probably, 10 meters or less than that?
Once it really got in there, it was 10 to 20 feet, maybe, that you were seeing. I don't have great vision at night, so maybe it was better for you, but for me, it was hard to see. But I just remember we're now getting onto the ride. We set our stuff down. We're sitting in the seats. They lock us in, and you can hear people, like, you can't see them. We're getting lifted up. We're getting hoisted up to go on this roller coaster.
Yeah.
And you just hear people screaming from the mist.
Yeah.
And the mist served really well to roll out and allow the actors, the zombies, the chupacabras,
people dressed as clowns, witches, chupacabras,
everything.
Devils, zombies,
and the mist served to help them get out from the doorways, the hidden doorways that are all over the park for servicemen to work. They just marched on out into the mist. You didn't see it; they just appear, and it was so well done. So cool, and I'm just having a blast. And I was like, I'm not enjoying this anymore.
I was not. Like, because the thing is, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I have migraines very often. So I wasn't feeling that well towards the end of the day because I got a migraine. Like, it was really hot in the afternoon, and we were kind of like starting to dehydrate a little bit. Because the lines were so long to ride the roller coaster. So even though we could purchase water, like, we'd be standing like for more than an hour trying to waiting for a ride. So we'd be out there in the sun waiting again for a long time. So I started getting my migraines, and I wasn't already feeling well. And then we get onto this whole creepy thing, and I'm like, oh no, no, get me out. I started freaking out. I mean, it was cool though. The experience was amazing. Like, again, they did a really good job because I don't know, like, my skin was crawling. I was like on the verge of tears because it was so creepy and scary and just amazing. So there's the fog machines. Then also the lights change. So instead of being, like a normal yellow, bluish light,
it's red, it's greens, it's purples, it's things that seem unnatural.
Exactly. So like, it got really scary. And again, you have tons of actors dressed up. And then there's also like, the thing with this special event is that Six Flags tell people, like, if you want to come over and dress up as anything, you can come, you can dress up for Halloween over here. Like, our doors are open, come on in, bring your Halloween costume, you're welcome. So there's a lot of people just dressed up as, different things. Plus then there's the actors who are there to scare you and spook you. So you don't know who is actually a friendly person and who's there to like scare you. And I mean, why, like, it's a thing that people will scare small girls like me.
Yep.
Like,
Chupacabras.
we would be walking and they would completely skip James and just go directly towards me and scare me.
It was probably the dumb, goofy grin I had on my face. Like, I'm just walking around just derpy, like, yeah, I'm having so much fun. And you're just like, you've got your face burrowed into my armpit. Mm-hmm. We were trying to make a beeline to the gift shop so she could get a sweatshirt because she was getting so cold.
It was so cold in the afternoon, like in the night, sorry.
No, you're fine. And then we headed back into the park, past the Chupacabras again, which scared her again. And
the Chupacabras were in the very beginning of the park where all these stores are.
Yeah.
And we were all the way on the back because we were riding the roller coasters. Mm-hmm. So we had to walk through the mist, through the zombies and witches and devils and headless horsemen. And I think that's your phone buzzing. That's okay. So we had to walk all through that, then past the Chupacabras, and the Chupacabras were like they had this fascination of just getting in front of my face.
Yeah.
And it's like I cannot, please no. So anyways, we had to go past them so we can reach the gift shop so I could purchase a hoodie because I was super cold. And then James, he's like, we have to go to the haunted house. We have to do the haunted house. We have to do the haunted house.
Just one. There was 5.
There were 5. So we went to the one that would be the least scary for me, which happened to be all the way on the back again. So we had to go past the Chupacabras again.
So one thing that I really enjoyed, and I prefer Universal over Disneyland. Mm-hmm. Just I love movie sets. I love playing around. My favorite part of Universal isn't necessarily the rides. It's walking around the streets. Mm-hmm. And seeing all the set dressings, going in the back lot, things like that. One thing that Six Flags kind of did that's reminiscent to that is they have the different sections of their quote-unquote town, city, blocked off. And they had the DC street, or Gotham.
Ah, yeah.
And this is where you had the Batman ride. I think this is where the entrance to the Superman ride was, and all the gift shops for those were. And that road was all zombies, and that led and pointed directly at the high school, which is where the haunted house was that we wanted to go to. And
so that particular to interrupt, is that particular road had like in the morning or afternoon where we were there and the whole Halloween thing hadn't even started, there were cars and like trash cans, a tank, and it was like, that's weird. I wonder why there's a tank over here. Well, it's in preparation for at nighttime because the zombies are in the street, and then there's soldiers trying to like fight the zombies off while you're there walking down the street, so the zombies can go and scare you and stuff. So it's very scary. So anyway, past that street, it's one of the haunted houses, which was a haunted high school. Go ahead.
Right. So we stand in line, and
longest line forever.
Yeah, Mariel's not super keen on going in, and she was absolutely doing it for me.
Exactly. Because I love you.
And I was like, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. I'll go through it myself. It'll be like 3 to 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. Just stand over there and meet me. She's like, no. I said I'd do it. So she goes through. I don't think you actually saw anything.
I didn't.
She just buried her face in my armpit, which then made it scarier when the obvious monster zombie student walks up to her and startles her. And I'm just like, I mean, you can see him coming from a mile away. It wasn't really scary, but...
Well, okay, here's the thing, though. So it's a high school zombie thing, right? And it's a high school from the 1950s, 1960s.
Yeah, it was kind of a like Grease era.
Yeah. So you have the girls dressed with the Grease, the shirts and the skirts and everything.
What
are they
called? The doodles? No, I
don't know what they're called.
What are the puffy dogs called?
Poodles?
Yeah, poodle skirt. That's the word I was looking for.
That's what they're called in English?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
sorry.
You have those girls and you have the jockeys and everything. Mm-hmm. So, they kind of put you in this whole ambiance. I don't know how to say it. And it's really cool. But, they see you from the very beginning. They greet you from the beginning, and they separate you from like a good sized group.
Yeah.
And I was telling James, I just hope that we're not first in line. I hope that we're not first in line, because when you're first in line, that's when they scare you, dude. Mm-hmm. So guess what? They start, calling in the next group of people, and, they get like probably 8 people, and then they stop right on James.
Yeah.
So guess what? That means James and I are first in the second or the next group.
Still me with my giant goofy grin.
Yeah. So we're the first people. So we get to experience everything firsthand. We get the first jump scares, the first screams, the first wow when they come out of the closets and the lockers and whatever. And I was just like, no, James, no, I'm just gonna hide behind you, which I did. I hid behind, like, he's way taller than me. Like, my head reaches, what, your chest?
Yeah, like about my shoulder.
Yeah.
Not quite my shoulder.
Well, you're like a head and a half taller than me. So what I did...
Just getting ahead in life.
Dumb.
You had to know where that was headed.
Stop it! Gosh, with your puns. Anyways, so me being the scared little girl, the scared little girl, I hid behind James and I grabbed his arm and put it like on my face. So my face was on his armpit. That's where I hid. I held his hand with my left hand, and my right hand was holding his waist. So I was just like sticking. I was a part of James at that point. I was just sticking to his back, and my face was in his armpit, so I could have one way of like being able to see the floor and also breathe.
I didn't wear deodorant, so tough to be her.
He did. Anyways, so I was walking there and I'm like shaking, just being behind James, and James is like, don't worry, it's fine. Thankfully, most of the people, I think they saw how frightened I was and kind of skipped me. Yeah, like they didn't really scare us. They just waited for the people who were behind us. Yeah. So I'm very thankful. If there are any zombies that worked last year on Six Flags San Antonio Haunted High School House, if you're listening, thank you so much for skipping me. But to those who didn't, why? So there was this one guy, one jockey zombie.
In the bathroom, I think. The bathroom they made.
The lockers, right?
Yeah, the locker room.
The locker room. He saw James, and I think he saw me, and he's like, oh, girl, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. He screamed. No, not screamed. He yelled directly on at my right ear.
Yeah. Yeah,
he got next to me.
Too much of a violation of like, hey, okay, that's enough.
Like my safe bubble was gone. It was non-existent to this guy. He's like, I'm gonna scare you. Girl, I'm gonna get you. He was like right next to me. Yeah. Like, not like, oh, he was nearby. No, he was like next to me, almost touching my ear. And he just yelled on my ear. It was the most awful thing.
Was it irritating?
Not as irritating as your puns. Anyway, this guy just yelled at me, and like it's just like, yeah, no, like I could not. I jumped and I screamed so bad. And I remember there was a girl in front of him that kind of saw me, and I saw her kind of react like, oh dude, don't do that, or something like that. Like the girl was like, no, because I could see her, because when I jumped, I jumped because I got super scared, because again, he yelled right on my ear. So I got to see her, and she's like, oh dude, no. Like, she's like, she felt so bad for me. So thank you, random girl from Six Flags, for taking pity on me. And you, guy, you're awful. I hope you learn your lesson when someone else screams at you. It's so bad. It hurt my earlobe. Well, eardrum.
Yeah. I mean, it could have hurt your earlobe.
Probably, because he was so close. Like, dude, that's a big no-no. Don't do that. Like, and if you guys ever decide to work on a haunted mansion just for the giggles, don't do that. It's just horrible and awful. But yeah, like, we got through. I survived. I think it lasted way longer for me than it did to James.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted out. Like, I wanted out. But, ladies and gentlemen, I actually made it through. So I think I deserve a clap. Some claps.
Thank you for clapping, chatties. No, and so then we exit out of there, and we see off in the distance a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it's a Ferris wheel, which I've never ridden one.
So I started. I'm taking over.
Okay.
So I take us over to. It's kind of like a pier. It's a little bit different. It's like, I think it's supposed to be like the Monterey Pier. It starts with an M.
I don't know.
In California, it's the big famous pier with the Ferris wheel. So I think it's supposed to be like that. And we walk out onto the pier, quote unquote, and it's all like, it's more geared towards children.
Yes.
The rides are a lot more carnival-like.
There's a Scooby-Doo ride next to it, so that's kind of like the area for kids.
I think there was laser tag in that area.
Yeah.
There was like little arcade games, so it seemed like it was designed for the younger kids. Okay, so we go and we get in line for the Ferris wheel, and we're thinking this is probably going to be the last thing we do. We've never been on a Ferris wheel. It'll be super cute and romantic.
Yeah.
We get on the Ferris wheel after 10-15 minutes, and we're riding it, and it's super nice. It's really nice to get up there. You see the whole park. It's really sweet. The fog machines seem like they're off. I can see clowns on the pier where we're headed. We went into the kids area, which was also the clowns area.
Yep.
So I took my wife into the hornet's nest and trapped her where they were walking around with like the kind of horns and loudspeakers and again, knowing she's a small girl, they ignored me and went straight for her.
Yes,
so I just I think we like wrapped your jacket around your head and just beelined for the exit.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, that's it. She was, I think you were pretty fried at that point, like just too stressed.
It's just, you have to understand, I don't do well with horror stuff. Then I had a migraine. Then we went through the haunted mansion. And the guy yelled at me, almost destroying my eardrum. And then there's clowns, my worst nightmare. Clowns, it's like, no, I just could not do it anymore. And one of the clowns decided to bust a really loud sound.
Yeah.
Right next to me, also, trying to scare me, like make me jump scare, like, why? So I was already like, and then another one jumps in front of me with a, and I'm like, just no, why? Like, I just could not, like, I could not deal. Like, I just wanted out of that zone. Like, take me somewhere else. Like, anything is better than the clowns. Anything, even the haunted mansion is better.
Yeah. And so that was the point at which we started really heading out.
Yeah.
Finding the car, getting in the car and driving away, and like, you were pretty exhausted. I think
I fell
with all
asleep.
the walking, all the sun that we got that day, like by the end it was just we were pretty beat up. That was a long day, but I loved it and I want to go back. Well, let me preface that. Let me step back a little. I want to go back this month because I want to see all the decorations. I want to see what they do, if they do it differently, things like that. But we don't have to stay into Fright Fest. If we go early in the morning when they open, enjoy like 8 hours up till 7. And then leave before the boom.
Before the... Salud.
Gracias. Sorry. Oh, jeez. I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Yeah, before all the chaos and fright and scary stuff happens.
I need to see if I'll have another mug for my collection. I got my Flash mug there last year. Yeah. Need to get a Superman mug.
A Superman mug.
No Batman. No, I'm not getting a Batman mug.
I got the hoodie that I got was a Batman hoodie. It has like the ears. I didn't even notice that it had ears until James pointed it out.
I took a picture of it and showed her, and she's like, "What?"
It was just so cool. I just wanted a cool hoodie anyways, and I'm like, "Well, it's Batman. Like, I'm Batman." So I just purchased it, and I also bought a Harley Quinn shirt, which is super cute. But I remember that I wanted something from Wonder Woman, and I couldn't find, or something from Batgirl or Poison Ivy. Yeah. Supergirl as well. There was nothing for Supergirl. Like there was only.
That'll probably change.
Hopefully, because Supergirl
got super popular.
Super popular. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this time we'll find something from Supergirl, because I'd love to get some Supergirl merchandise. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. The roller coasters were amazing. There's a Superman ride, which is my favorite.
That we should not have gone on that one first, because that was by far the best roller coaster, and then the rest of them were kind of like,
Yeah. Even the Batman one. I hated the Batman one,
The Batman one was not that impressive.
The thing with the Batman, it's just the Batman one, it's like, it's a roller coaster that kind of goes like in a loopy-loop.
Yeah. It kind of goes in a loose shape of a batarang.
Yeah. An infinity symbol, kind of almost. Yeah. And the thing about that one is that where you're sitting also goes around.
Yeah, flips upside down.
It flips upside down. But the thing about that ride is that it didn't sit well with me. Not that because I don't like roller coasters, I love them, and I'm used to, the going up and down and stuff. But the way that the seat was moving, it really destroyed my head. Like my migraine just got like worse.
I remember that. Yeah.
Because like the way it moves, my head kept hitting the
kept
back,
snapping
like the
our
seat.
heads back against the back of the seat.
Yeah, so I don't like it. I enjoyed the Superman one a lot better because it's like even though your feet are flying and everything, and you're riding the roller coaster, it doesn't really move like. Your seat doesn't move that much, so my head can stand still and my neck can stand still, and it's not bad. But the Batman one was awful. Like, I could not deal with it, and I'm like, well, I can either when you're in that situation, you can either lose your neck, like loosen up your neck, so then your head starts going everywhere, like towards the back of the seat, and also the thing that you pull neck like in front of you, the thing that holds you in place, the little cushion thing.
Yeah.
So it can also hit back left and right, or which was happening, or you can like stiffen up your neck, and then you can like really hurt your muscles. So it's like at that point, either one is a lose for me. So I did not enjoy that ride at all. I mean, it's a cool concept, and maybe people that have stronger necks can deal with it. But me as a weak little person, I could not deal with it. Like, it was awful. It just really destroyed my head. It's like my migraine just got worse. So we actually had to take a little break from after that. And that's why we also decided to do the Haunted Mansion, because we were just gonna be in line waiting, and there wasn't gonna be a lot of
what was that, like
activity.
2-hour wait?
Yeah, easily 2-hour wait.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to point something out before we end the podcast. The one that we decided to go was the high school one, but there were others that you wanted to check out, which was one with clowns.
No, I didn't want to check out the clown ones. There was so if I remember, there was a clown one. There's the high school.
Yeah.
There's the satanic cult.
Yeah.
There was the hospital.
With zombies.
Well, I don't think there were zombies. I think it was supposed to be more like a gore, like Saw kind of.
Oh,
and then there was one more, but Witches was the last one. Witches was the last one. But then it was like, well, I think you weren't real comfortable looking at the satanic stuff.
Yeah,
and I figured the which one? the witch house would probably be similar. So I just said, let's skip both of those. I don't care for gore. Gore is stupid to me. So that eliminated those three, and then clowns were obviously out.
Obviously, because of me.
Yeah, so that left the haunted high school, which was just like zombies. So.
But so we went for that one. But in case you guys are in the San Antonio area, or you guys can travel, and if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. And if we do happen to go on October, like this month, back to San Antonio, we'll let you know if they're still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Except for the whole frightening part towards the end and the migraine. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm excited to go back again this year.
Yeah, we'll have to do it.
Yeah. But anyways, that should be it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and thank you to James for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, Chathies, for staying so patient and calm on our laps. And sleepy. She's so warm.
Be sure to check out James's channel. There's going to be a link to all of his channels in the description down below, also known as the Doobly Doo. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and have a great morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. We love you guys.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.